Okay, let's go.
Hey Damien, welcome to the Telstar Surf Talk. Thank you so much for being here with us today. Today we're going to discuss wingsurfing because when wingsurfing started off, we never knew it was going to be so popular, right? Now, 5 years later, it's super booming, everybody's winging. And I remember you and Kevin started the company out as a kitesurfing company, right?
Right.
But now you have like a full wing range. Can you tell me why you jumped into this category as well?
Well, I started designing wings in 2018 already. That's my previous job. And when we launched Reedin, we had to focus on one thing because we were like a small little startup. And as soon as we could, myself, I was already winging. When you live on Maui, there's a lot of kiting happening. Sometimes you've kited enough for the last 2 months because it's been windy and waves every day. So you want to change. So you get the chance to, do a different sport. And I thought that was exciting to ride waves with the wing down, doing some free flies, some downwinds, So it's a different, sport in a way. And I was naturally drawn to doing it because then it's just more fun on the water. You're on the water all the time. So that's really what started because I want to have some stuff for us. And Kevin is also winging. So it made sense that we just, had one more fun toy in the range.
This year you made a very nice wing called SuperNatural. And you've decided to go for the boom and for the handles. Can you tell me a little bit why you chose to do that in the design?
Well, I think at first we started with handles because I guess coming from kiting, we looked at like how to pack it small. And the very first one we did was like soft handles. And, I don't think we thought too much further than that. And we're looking, like I said, packing it small, easy to fold. And then we're looking, I mean, I come from windsurfing originally, but like I was mostly a kiter when I started designing wings. I was looking at like, yeah, the windsurfers want a boom, but doesn't matter. And then, looking at it again, there's advantage to the handles, especially the way we design it, where like you have a good angle between your front and your backhand. But the boom also has advantages. And lately I've been riding the boom and I'm like, the first sample I tried, I was like, yeah, okay, makes sense. You can actually hold it with one hand. In our company, we have a professional vlogger, and if you have handhold, it's a lot harder to hold a wing with one hand to hold your GoPro. So now Kevin can actually vlog on the wing, which is a good thing for us. But more seriously, I think the handhold have one advantage. The boom has the advantage of being easier to grab wherever you want without even looking at where you're grabbing the wing. So it's nice. Obviously, it started, a bunch of like kids started to want to do freestyle and handle pass and one hand jumps and grabs so at first we're all looking at it like, yeah, okay, it's for the kids. But now we realize that it's actually for all of us. It's actually easier. Like our marketing manager, the first time he tried the boom, he was like, "Oh, I attack better with it." So if you take away the small packaging, the boom actually has the riding effect that a lot of people are liking. And then the whole packaging thing of having a small bag, again, comes from kiters. We think it's small, but we have a small kite board. In winging, we have a big board and we have a big foil. And so in the end, like if you look at our bag right here, that's the boom wing. And what I do is like the way we design it, you can carry your whole foil setup. So you only have one thing to carry. And anyway, your setup is that big. So it doesn't make much difference. So in the end, like I realized that it doesn't really matter that we pack smaller. Like this is maybe longer. It's actually a thinner, smaller diameter, and you pack everything at once. So I really like the fact that now I can carry everything with just one shoulder strap. So that's something I like about it now also.
So are you actually saying that a boom is better than handles, or?
Actually, it's really a personal preference. I would say the advantage of the handles is also that you never really get your hands in the wrong spot because there's only two spots to grab it. The boom, you can actually get it wrong. So you can end up riding a little off balance. So the handles are better for that. And then the boom gives you a little more freedom of where you're putting your hands. The advantage also, like I said earlier, like at least on our handles, is that the front hand is a little more open. So you have a more natural position. It's actually more comfy. On our boom, we've actually did some bending on it. So your front hand is a little more open, but we cannot do as much angle as on two handles because two handles are separated, and on the boom it would become a little unstable if we did it more. So the actual riding position is probably a little more comfy on the handles. Some people, especially when they ride with the front hand up, their maybe their pinky finger, sorry, yeah, pinky finger is gonna hurt a little bit. While you ride this way, it's not. But if you ride this way, because the angle is not as open as on the handle, so yeah, the handle may be a little more ergonomic, and the boom gives you a little more freedom. And then, of course, not gonna repeat, but packing is smaller with the handles.
Okay, so the next question is then, who would you recommend the boom or the handles for?
Well, really, that would be, the only person I would absolutely say you really want to go with the boom is if you're a kid or like an advanced freestyle rider that want to do some handle passes or some like weird pass of the handle, because the boom really makes it easier. For everyone else, it's really gonna be a choice of what you feel better with, how do you want to roll your wing when you're done. And maybe I would say also for full-on beginners, the advantage of handles, like I said, is that it's going to allow you to really just hold the wing from the right position, which is where we have it balanced. So maybe full-on beginners would maybe benefit from handles, but you can still be a beginner on the boom. So it's really what you're going to like better. Like I think every discipline, like wave riders, they like the boom just as much as the handles, because anyway they barely use the wing. And if they use the wing for bottom turns and top turns, in both cases they can do it the same. So it's really a personal preference in terms of like how do you feel about it, but it's not really necessarily for a certain type of riding, except for the freestyle stuff.
Speaking of the supernatural, what can we expect from this wing going out on the water?
Well, I would say the first thing you're going to feel on the water is a very light wing. That's really been my focus for the past 2 seasons. In the past I was probably winging way too much on Maui, super strong wind on a 3 meter or 2.5, and the wing just stays in the air because it's so windy. Now I've been winging a lot more light wind sessions, and I realize how important lightweight is. So it makes the wing that much more efficient and that much more easy to handle. In free fly, it's so much easier when the wind is lighter because it doesn't fall down. It follows you nicely, flies. And then the other thing that you're gonna feel is, look, I have the chance of having been designing wings for 7 years now. So I think the performance of our wings is really advanced. They're very efficient. They go upwind really well. The reason I focus on the upwind is because once you're done free flying, for example, you want to go back as fast as possible to get some more waves. If you wave riding, same thing. And if you want to race upwind with your friends, always fun to beat them anyway. So that's one of the big focus I had. And then efficiency on these wings. I like to make them as stiff as possible. So when you're pumping, you're not wasting energy. You just have the energy of your pumping just going. So you get going faster. So you can actually get going in less wind. And yeah, that would be the three big things. And coming back on the weight, I spent a lot of time at the factory and really questioning everything we put in these wings. And so at one point, I cut all the pieces that make a wing, and I have a little scale, and I measured everything, and I was really questioning everything. Do I need this piece? Do I need that extra reinforcement? Do I need that? Everything. And then by doing this, I cut a few grams here, a few grams there, and at the end, we got a wing that's like insanely light. And that really is a big difference when you're winging. You just hold it above your head. Tacks are easier because it just flies better. Just like a kite. If it's flying in the air, the lighter, the better. There's no question about it.
Okay, so my last question, Damien, is can you already spoil me a little bit for what's coming in the future? Are there some exciting trends that are coming up? Or can you let me in on a little bit of news for that?
Well, if I knew what the future would be, I would already have done it. So yeah, it's hard to know. I mean, there's obviously for me, the trend is like to keep on working on the weight, like saving as much as I can, being on boards, on wings, even the rest of our line, kite product, we also work a lot of weight. So yeah, I mean, to me, that's the future. Keep on working on that. But I think we've reached a level right now where like I don't really know where we can take it from there. It's as light as I think it can be. But yeah, I wish I knew, but I would have already done it, and then I could still not answer anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for answering that question. And thanks again, Damien, for joining us on the Telstar Surf Doc.
Pleasure.
It was very great to have you with us. And I'm super excited to see what's coming up next, what you're making, what you're working on, and to see you again with us here. Thank you.
Thank you.